Alright, who here likes doorknobs?
What do you say?
Okay, some of you do.
Door knocking?
Why not?
Who here has never door knocking?
I do. Years ago.
Alright, so I have a theory. Whatever lead batch that you order, if you door knock everybody, you make your money back plus you at least make your money back. Okay? So that's really good to know. As long as you have the cajones to go represent the as long as you have that, you'll never you have it. I know you can. As long as you understand that, you can invest as much as you want in leads because you'll always make your money back as long as you work. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go over a couple things as far as door knock strategy, right? And just some tips as far as that goes. Okay? So where are you guys most effective? On the phones or knocking on doors when you don't have an appointment? Go.
The doors, knocking doors, and someone behind the door.
No. You're way more efficient on the phones. Because I can talk to 10 people in an hour. I can talk to probably like 4 or 5 in an hour, but knocking doors. So you're much more efficient. That's going to be plan A. Plan B is door knocking. It's still a good plan B, but you don't want to make that your primary thing. Does everybody know Yola Olsebach? She's like the door knocking queen. She writes like $30K a month just off of door knocking. Now I'm not her, but I'm still going to show you how to do it.
What's her name?
Yola. Yolla. Her last name. I don't know. Olsebach, but it's phonetic. So with door knocking, like Marisa said, like you want to have your door knocks. I like doing it by zip code. Because I'm not good with all the towns around me. So do it by zip code, and I usually have them like on sticky notes. So I have like one manila folder for door knocks, and I do a sticky note, 89512, that's Reno, Nevada, that's where I live, right? And I have that. So if I get porch, go door knock. And I know that they're somewhere in the vicinity. Because you don't want to go from, where is it, like Chelmsford to Lowell to Chelmsford, come to the Lowell. You might want to be as efficient as possible, all right? So when you knock on the door, you need to have that lead in your hand, big time. Otherwise, you're just canvassing. You're selling solar canvassing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have their name and info, but you need what the hell they filled out, whether it be direct mail or whether it be like an instant internet type thing, right? So, who wants to be the homeowner?
Eric. Good luck.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yes.
Hey, Eric. Eric?
Yes.
All right, my name's Evan. Just getting back to you about this postcard you filled out by hand. Sent it back. Nobody from my office was able to reach out to you.
What is this?
This is a final expense program to help cover your burial cremation. You got this in the mail, sent it back, you licked the envelope, you put it back in the mail.
Yep, that's my handwriting.
Gotcha. I apologize, nobody from my office was able to reach you. Either the phone number didn't work or there was no phone number on there. It just takes about 5 minutes for me to go over this with you.
Go over what?
How these programs work, see if you even qualify for something like this. First off, see if it's even necessary.
Okay.
When she was
Does my
home,
wife
she was
need
home.
to be here?
Yeah. Is she home?
Yes. Shoes off.
Okay, cool. So very assumptive, like you would be on the phone, right? Like you would be in the home. So if you have an appointment, everybody's knocking on the door to get in the freaking home, right? So whether you have an appointment or not, you need to be assumptive no matter what. Sean Mike's favorite line, shoes on, shoes off.
Right.
What does that assume? I'm being assumptive here. It means I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as energy goes, you want it to be that way. You want to think of it as if they're going to let you in anyway. Now, you're not going to win all of them. Let's say, Eric, your wife isn't home. Do I go in or do I not go in?
Not going.
Why?
No, you can.
Yeah, but you can sign him up.
It's a one-legger.
It's a
Why would I go in with his wife not there?
He ain't doing his job.
The decision maker's not there. One of the decision makers.
Doesn't matter.
Could be two possible sales.
What do you call a woman with one leg?
Uh-oh.
Incomplete.
You're never going to sell Eileen, okay? You need Eileen and her husband Eric, right?
Got it.
So you need both legs at the table to make a
So
proper
you
decision.
reschedule.
You reschedule.
set up a time that's
we
good for
like
both
to
of them.
use the colloquial term BAM fam. We don't say reschedule, we BAM fam. We book a meeting from a meeting. When we find a time. And if they're like, no, you can meet with me, I'm the one that filled it out. We're like, hey, listen, you guys are gonna be beneficiaries, right? Yeah? Okay. We'll book a yes in here. We're like, hey, we need both beneficiaries at the table. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. I can do a 4 or 6 tomorrow. You guys work? Yeah, okay, cool. You guys home about 6, right? Alright, well, I'll do my best. Got a couple other families to meet with. We do about 6:30. Is that fair? Keyword, or not word, phrase. Is that fair? Nobody's gonna be like, no, it's not fair. Nobody says it. If they disagree with you, they'll say some other thing and they'll try to take back the frame, but it'll be like, is that fair? It's fair that you come over and try to accommodate me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my strategy with door knocks. If I don't have enough appointments, fill with door knocks. You guys are pretty creative, you're all genius. You'll figure it out. But when you get porched, on an appointment that you have a set time for it, want to door knock, fill up that activity, or do what Liz does and just dial in between. Both work, potato, potato. It'll get your activity up and results up. Question?
Yes, but you saying the ones that wanted, what about the ones, it's when you go, say, what the hell you want? Like, why are you here at my house?
Well, that's why you have the lead. Like, I'm not showing up just because I have nothing to do.
She said, I didn't remember what that was. Like, what are you doing in my house? Somebody else already came here with us. Yes. What are you?
Well, okay, you just gave me like 4 objections.
But the actions on the
like one at a time.
But they do
Just give me one. I'll overcome it. Just give me one.
Like I went, she said, oh, this big guy came here the other day with this paper.
Well, I'm the small guy here for you. That's perfect. That's exactly why I'm here.
Then she said, it's the same company. She just came here. He just came here the other day. It's a big guy. Do you know him?
Okay.
I'm like, no.
Okay, so it'd be like, hey, like, what was the dynamic? Did you end up getting protected? Am I here
No.
for no reason or overkill, or
No.
did I get this lead because you didn't get protected? And then if you say no, I don't want it, I'm like, okay, all right, well just sign it for me and say that you don't want any coverage that's available to you.
Thank you.
No problem. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
And they're like, oh, look at a signature.
Okay,
Did you have John
why
Hank?
not?
I like that.
What if they say I don't want to sign that?
Well, it's like, yeah, well, you probably don't want to die either, but it's going to happen. You're going to sign and you're going to die. And the thing with door knocks is like, have fun with it.
Yes.
You guys can see that I play with it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's a game. When it becomes all this serious shit, it's like, God, I just got torched. Wow, it's so awful. When you still have an AC car, you
Right.
still got, leads, you still got more door knocks.
Right.
It's not that bad.
Just want to get them
Right?
off the
Yeah,
list.
roofing houses, and they're not homes, right? You're in a house and they're not even there. And you're making it worse. Being porched is cool, man. No, but taking the activity to get porched was a lot better than doing nothing. Questions, comments, concerns, emotional outbreaks, hugs.
Actually, I'll do one for you.
Cards as do they? It's like, oh, I don't want any, like, oh, here's my business card in case in the future you do something like that.
Good question. So I'll never leave a business card if I'm sitting with them and they don't decide to do it. Reason being, I've had this happen. So it was like beginning of October, meet with this guy. He's like, okay, I'm poor as shit. I gotta push this off till the 3rd of November. Okay, whatever. I can't draft a bank account that is zero.
Right.
Plan A, draft today. Plan B, you draft when they actually have money. We're making $900 a month. Push comes to shove. Whatever. So I leave my business card. He dies a week later, and his premium didn't go through.
Ooh.
Right? So they're calling me up sobbing. Now I've never actually had to deliver a death claim because this guy didn't actually have coverage. You know what I'm talking about? It never went through. There's no grace period, even when there's no first payment. So I'm like, oh my God, they have my card, and that's why they're calling me. Imagine if it was another scenario where you door knocked, you gave the card, they passed away, and now the family's like,
You were the last person.
yeah, like why didn't you cover them?
Right.
And I'm like, well, your mom's in December. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of liability. You, as an insurance, like we only take a test that takes 2 weeks to study for. If you guys went to school for 2 years to get a doctorate, you would take this shit a lot more, I don't want to say seriously, but you'd have a lot more respect for yourself right off the gate. You know what I'm saying? When your first couple dials, first couple door knocks, you're like, hey, I was this guy that went to school for a couple weeks. I'm trying to sell you something, blah, blah, blah. And once you get into the emotion of it, then you have more, what's the word, conviction.
Gotcha.
But you have a lot of power, and not a lot of us realize that. That business card means 10, 50, 100, $250,000 for the beneficiaries, whatever those people signed up for. So you have a lot of power. So when you give that card to somebody that doesn't do anything, there's a lot of liability on you. Just, morally, and also they're gonna come bitching at you that you didn't sign up their family member when you could have, and they would have gotten in a huge death benefit. So that's why I don't do it, because I don't want that headache. You know what I'm saying? And if they're like, hey, can I have a business card to call you back? It's like, hey, I'm here right in front of you.
Yeah.
My business card's got my picture on it. I look great. But look how good I look right now, and you still don't want it. Like, come on. The business card isn't going to do shit for you. Like, let's be real. That's how I do it.
Gotcha.
That was my
So just curious, what ended up happening with that? Were they mad at you? Did they get mad at you? Like, does it ever get ugly?
They're really disappointed. Like, they were crying. They didn't know their dad's social, so I had to go look up on the app what his social was. I wish I could have been there for them.
Yeah.
I wish I could have delivered $3,000 instead of them coming out of pocket.
Had you not left your card, and that scenario, like he didn't die, and he gave you that, and you knew there was nothing to draw on that day, how do you reschedule right then and there? Do you put him back and resolve and say yes or no? Do you put him on your calendar for November when he says he's going to have money again?
Great question. So what I did was I put him back on my calendar to door knock him, and I called him a couple times before that. But between that time of putting him on my calendar for the next week and them calling, between then and actually going to door knock, they called.
That's a call. That
Because
wasn't
somebody that
positive.
does business with you, that's a warm burn. That's a real warm burn. And some people, aren't necessarily going to not answer their phone, even if they're a client. Like, you guys call clients all the time. Current clients, and you already closed and they don't pick up. They're like, don't take it personally because they love you. It's just that they're not being malicious. They're just being incompetent. There's a difference there. And it's all a lot about deliberation, right? They're not deliberately trying to ignore you. So if you need to knock on the door, hey, what's up, man? I was in the neighborhood. You guys are friends. It's all good. So you can always round up and go back to them the second time. Don't be afraid about door knocking. It's cool. Yeah. And as long as you left a good impression and you had a proper value that you compliment, might even give you like a nice treat.
I don't know if you've already said this, but if you go to a door knock and nobody's home, do you take any action?
I have you can buy these on Amazon. It's like a sticky note on steroids, where it's like, instead of being this small, it's like a bit bigger, neon pink, and it's like a delivery as if you were like a FedEx. It doesn't say FedEx on there. It's just like, hey, like date, time, name, like what should you do? Call me back, and then I'll throw a business card. I used to do, and then I learned the hard way. But just put your number in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one idea that I've had, I haven't implemented this, and you have your feedback. So you print off 2 leads, 2 copies of the leads. This is just something I thought about last night, actually. Kind of crazy that we're talking about. You print off 2 leads, one for you and one for them. So you can put in their mailbox and show them what the hell they signed up for, whatever. And then you have that, so when they call you, you still have all the information. You guys see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go test that, and I'll come back next year.
I only have one question. If they moved out, you leave some information and got all their information. Does that kind of backfire on you?
They probably know who the previous owner is, and also, like, stuff doesn't
It's
happen.
only a day.
No, but it has.
It's all public info. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find all that information on
Alright, because I was thinking about that. I was like, a while back. I was like,
What state were you born in when you're on the app? It's like,
Yeah.
dude, I can Google that.
Okay.
Like, relax.
alright.
What was your prior address? Because you only live here. I can Google that. You can tell me whatever you want.
Good stuff.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
I think one tip on when you leave a door knock post-it note, like, delivery attempted, please, call me back. And, so as part of an insurance marketing organization, what's important for us is, one-on-one of marketing is to create curiosity, right? So when we're out, trying to resolve door knocks, we want to make them very curious on what they're missing, right? What they're missing. So when you're leaving that post-it note, hey, sorry I missed you, try to attempt to drop off whatever you're going to write on that, because you want to raise that curiosity level high enough where they do call you. So one thing that you could do, you know, because if you are doing door knocking, either it's planned or you're in between appointments, you can save that number to your phone, the number that they're going to call from, and just put, you know, Eric Schmidt, door knock, you know, ABC, Connecticut. So when the call comes in, you know it was a door knock from that person. So you're not answering a phone call totally blind, like, oh boy, I don't know who's calling me. I don't know if it's a warranty guy, the IRS guy, you know, I don't know which guy, you know, which robocall. But if it says Liz Brennan, you know, Avon, Connecticut, door knock, then I'm like, oh, that's the door knock. And you can say, hey Liz, you know, what's this about? You tried to deliver something. Actually, glad you called me back. The purpose of my visit, you know, just kind of go into it from there.
And along the same line, like when you leave a voicemail, my voicemail is, "Here Brian, just getting back to you. Sorry for the phone tag. 775-440-9397." And they're like, phone tag? I didn't call you. See what I did? Yeah. You can't hang me up if you don't know what I'm calling out. So along the same lines. Anyway, thanks guys.
Great job, everybody.